Welcome class back to Chapter 8, Functions of your Python Crash Course textbook. This is the third lecture video. We'll cover two objectives, passing a list and modifying a list in a function. So passing a list, when you pass a list to a function, the function gets direct access to the contents of the list. So in this example, we have a list called usernames, which when we call the function greet users, these three usernames are going to be stored in this parameter, which now becomes its own list. Okay, so you're going to see in these next sections that we're not just passing one particular value. In this case, we're passing a list, and then later on we'll go ahead and pass an entire dictionary. So let's take this example and let's go ahead and run it. And our output is, let's go ahead and just bring this down here. So we're sending along Hannah, Ty, and Margot to names, using our for statement for name and names to run through the list. And then we go ahead and print hello, and then their name and title case. Okay, and then we're just printing out what MSG is, which happens to be our F string here. So hello Hannah, hello Ty, and hello Margot. Modifying a list in a function. Functions can modify the list. Any changes made to the list inside the function's body are permanent. So we're going to look at printing models next. So with printing models, I want you to notice down below the two functions. So we have a function called print models, and we have a function called show completed models. So right below these two functions is what we call the function or the body of the program. So the body of the program. You can have as many functions as you want, but if you never call them, okay, they're never executed. So below these functions is the body of the program. So we start with two lists. We have unprinted designs, which has 3 values in it, and then we have completed models, which is an empty list. We're going to call print models, and we're going to send along unprinted designs and also completed models empty list. So coming up here, here's unprinted designs and completed models. And then it says while unprinted design. So while we have this value here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this, put it up here as a comment. Okay, so while we have iPhone case, robot pendant, and however you see this, say this one. Okay, so we're going to take unprinted designs and we're going to pop off the end. So this one is going to pop. Okay, so we're going to take that one off of our list. Okay, and we're actually going to append it to the empty list, which is completed models. So now this list has that value. And we keep going through here until unprinted designs is empty. Okay, and then the next one through, we'll take off the last value and add it here. Okay, now we have a situation where unprinted designs is empty, so that's going to access out of this while loop. Okay, and then we're going to come right back down to the next line, which is line 26, and that's show completed models. And what that does is it just runs through completed models. So for completed model and completed models, print out completed model. So essentially just taking the values from the back end, okay, adding them to the new list, and then we're going to go ahead and print them out. Okay, so the following models have been printed. Okay, so coming from the back of the list. So that's how we can modify a list in the function. So remember that it is a permanent change to the list. Preventing a function from modifying a list. So if we don't want it to modify the list, we can use this slice notation, okay, which creates a copy of the list to send to the function. Now caution, you want to try to avoid passing copies of a list. It's just like when you create copies of files, okay, then all of a sudden you think you're editing one and you're really not editing the correct one. So in this case, it's kind of the same. So it's more efficient to work with the existing list and avoids duplicate errors and memory. So that wraps up this short section. There is no lab for this section. Questions on this section, let me know.